Andrews is an African-American hip-hop, R&B, and street rap artist who has had a lot of trauma throughout his life and has had a lot of struggles with personal issues, losing friends and family, and is now known today as successful underground music artist Nino Page.
Has anything good ever happened to Nino Page? No, nothing has good ever happened to me.
August 14, 2001, and is from Landover, Maryland. Growing up, Andrews didn't really have it easy, and just at the age of 4, him and his 3 siblings had been taken from their parents' custody by DC Child Services, then split into pairs, put into a foster care program where he had been through years and years of abuse and the fact of being homeless, which he had to go through all of that up until him and his younger sister would be adopted by a father who worked construction and a mother who worked as a church cook. At first, Andrews was very cautious moving into their new home, having low expectations for stability after being in the foster care program, but he remembered telling his sister not to unpack her bag so that they wouldn't quote-unquote get too comfortable where they were at. Growing up, Andrews would call his mother a saint due to the fact that she never drank or smoked, while with his dad, their relationship would be very complicated and they would always butt heads. That was mainly because Andrews had a different type of mindset that his dad thought was quote-unquote rebellious. So him and his dad stayed bumping heads, would stay grounded, etc. Back in school, due to the fact that he had a traditional mother, Andrews would have to wear his father's old clothes to school, which would cause him to be singled out or not be able to fit in with others. Fast forward later during his early life of elementary school and all that other stuff, Andrews would start writing and making music just around at the age of 8, and then when he was 14, in either 8th or 9th grade, he would start rapping and would be known as Zeal, coming out with his first song, Change, back in August 9, 2017, but then soon would just stop doing music altogether.
I made some mistakes in my life, I'm trying to change. My mama think that I'm crazy, she said I'm acting strange. Got tired of fucking with snakes, so I stay up in my lane. Got tired of hiding emotions, I couldn't stay the same.
But then later on in 2022, he would start making music again, but this time he would go underneath the alias Nino Page. But sadly, there isn't really much info I could find on any songs that he may have released underneath the name Zeal or any old and deleted songs that he may have released underneath the name Nino Page. So yeah, this is the most we gonna get. While Andrews, for Nino, was in high school, he would get into a lot of trouble at the time and spent a lot of his time in ISS, or in school suspension, which he would later drop out of high school and obtain a GED, which he got while being held in a juvenile detention center due to being charged with robbery and auto theft. He would be incarcerated for 18 months. After getting out of juvie, he would start going to school again at Prince George's Community College, which he would soon drop out during only his first semester that he was there for that school year. Now, fast forward to age 22, Nino would have already started his career as a music artist and released his debut and gained a lot of attention through Reddit, and was also marked as the moment he decided to take music serious, and also a sign that by the grace of God his life was about to change for the better, which then he would later on sign a distribution deal with Signal Records, which is a joint venture with Columbia Records and an imprint on label of Sony Music. And soon after, Nino would come out with his first studio album, Can't Go Back, on April 4, 2024, which would get about 3.8 million streams on Spotify, and the album would also follow by a few standalone songs being digitally released, those songs being Money Problems, Kryptonite, Relapse, Midnight Miami, Play This at My Funeral, and Coolin'. Later on during his career, he would release his sophomore studio album, Love Me As I Am, earlier this year on February 4th, which the album was described as an autobiographical and personal type of album, which soon after that he would announce a promotional tour for the album later this year back in April. Then finally, Nino Page would also perform on day 2 of Summer Smash, and back in June be announced as one of the 12 artists that will be on this year's XXL Freestyle. And that is the non-concluded life of Nino Page, from struggle to success.